Surging Sparks is out and people are going absolutely crazy for this set, opening a ton of packs to find the most expensive cards. And trust me, this set has some real big crazy stuff happening, especially the Pikachu Special Illustration Rare. That card is just going crazy right now. If you thought the Greninja was crazy, the Pikachu is even more crazy. Today we'll be going and taking a look at the top 10 most expensive cards a week after release of Surging Sparks, and we're going to see where they lie. Right now, as a rule, a lot of cards tend to be highly inflated on pre-order. Then the set comes out, packs get cracked, cards flood the market, and now sometimes there are cards out there which fight against that trend and actually start to see rises over time, like the Magikarp, for example, from Paldea Evolved. So it'd be really interesting to see today, a week out, it'd be really interesting to see today, a week after release, Surging Sparks with booster boxes reaching crazy insane prices at over 160 a box. Then we're going to see whether or not the tough pull rates and the expensive cost of a booster box has any impact on the single card prices. So let's jump in to number 10. Coming number 10, we have the Pikachu EX Full Art Crystal Diamond thing. This is a cool card. I do like it. I am actually a fan of these full art styles. They're kind of like shiny, but not shiny. I do like them though, and I like them all the way back from the Scarlet Violet base with like the Arcanine and stuff. I do think they're really cool. So this one's coming in at $27. It did actually, pre-order price be actually quite high at $35. It did actually drop by nearly 50% and went all the way down to $19, but it has bounced back up to $27. So it's dropped about 21% since its release. Most recent sale was around $28. That's pretty high for a card like this. Now, normally we see these type of cards sit around about $10 or less, like nothing like super crazy. But it is Pikachu. It's quite hard to find this card. Pull rates are quite tough in this set, so that will have an impact on even cards like this. But for a card in at number 10 at $28 is very impressive. I normally talk about how good a set is if it has a bunch of cards above $10, $20, $30. Does it have cards that are over $100? Like that to me, makes a set really good. And this is an example. The fact is, we're looking at a $28 card, and number 10 is really good. Coming at number 9, we have Full Art Trainer Jasmine's Gaze. This is a special illustration rare of the set. This one's not really fetching a huge waifu tax, as we've seen from other cards like the Carmine, for example, or even the Iono. This one at $35 has been falling from its pre-order price. In fact, it has dropped 60% from its pre-order price. So if you do pull this as your special illustration rare, that's going to feel pretty tough. Special illustration rares are on average pull rates around 1 in 3 boxes, so it's going to be pretty tough to find them. And if you do pull this one, kind of sucks, to be honest, because the pre-order price $89, nearly $90 down to $35, and continuing this card as the fact drops 60% is crazy. I expect it to fall in the future as well, maybe be below $30. So it'll be really interesting to see where this card lies in the future. But I do expect it to continue to fall. But it is sitting at number 9 at over $30, which is still pretty good. Coming in at number 8, we have the Latios Illustration Rare, one of my favorite cards in the set, $42. That is pretty high for an illustration rare. We don't really see that many illustration rares, apart from the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved, really hold insane value. We saw the Groudon do pretty well from Paradox Rift. We've also seen things like the Tyranitar do pretty good in Paldea Evolved. But mostly the illustration rares don't usually hold a high price tag, right? Stellar Crown with the Squirrel and the Bulbasaur are pretty good. But this Latios is doing pretty well. Even though it has dropped from its pre-order price, we take a look. It hasn't dropped a huge amount. So its pre-order price is around $51, $52, and it has dropped 16%. So that's not too bad, not compared to the 60% we just saw just a minute ago. Like I said, this is the most expensive illustration rare. Going to be tough to pull. We did actually pull this the other day on stream, which is absolutely incredible. But yeah, absolutely amazing card. I like the fact it goes really well with the Latias special illustration rare to form an amazing artwork. But overall, I like it, and it's doing pretty well, and I think it will hold its value quite well. I think it'll hold above $40, but still a really good one. Next up, we've got the Long Neck Boy, different Long Neck Boy this time. This is the Alolan Exeggutor. This is a special illustration rare coming in. This one has been falling like crazy. Currently sat at $52, and when it first came out, the pre-order price was nearly $100 for this card, and it has dropped 43% since its release date. So that's a pretty high price. Your most recent sold was $52. The highest value sold was $93. So it has dropped quite a bit, and the lowest is $30. So I expect this one to continue to fall. It's definitely not one of the biggest, splashiest special illustration rares of the set. So yeah, I do expect this one to fall probably below $40 would be my prediction. But at the moment, it is, I say holding. I mean, It's holding up a little bit, but it is falling. So, like I said, I expect it to fall even more. Then we got a waifu card coming in. We got the Lycia's Appeal. I spoke about this card before the set came out, and I thought it is going to be one of the most expensive cards in the set, mainly because Lycia is a huge card from Celestial Storm, big trainer card, and bit of a fan favorite. So we come here $77 right now, has dropped 50% from its pre-order price. Pre-order price was $160, and it did actually drop down to 76, went up a little bit, and it's come back down to that level again. So yeah, big drop for this card, 50%. Ouch, to be honest. Do I see this fall even more? I do. I expect to see this probably sit around $50 over time. Still a very good card. Like, don't forget, $50 for a card is incredible. The fact that at the moment it's sat at 77, nearly $80 is really, really good. So, yeah, if it'll drop, is what it is, but it's still doing really well. Next, we've got the Milotic. This is my chase card of the set. Special illustration rare coming in. A beautiful card. This one has been falling as well. Currently sat at $80. That's pretty good, right? We haven't seen that many cards hold that type of value, especially like a week after release. Normally they do drop quite a bit, but this one's holding its own. I mean, there's currently quite a lot of listings available. So let's take a look at this one. It has fallen by about 20%, so a fair amount, but nowhere near on some of the levels of some of the other cards that we've already seen. I do expect it to continue to fall as well over time. You could be looking at probably around about a $60 card will probably be my guess of where it will settle. But yeah, beautiful card. Here's my chase one. Tough pull rate. Special illustration rares. Like I say, you look at 1 in every 3 booster boxes. It's going to be pretty tough to get, specifically the Milotic. But it is a beautiful card. And like I said, I do think it will probably drop to, $60, $70. In a matter of time, even though some of the other cards in the set are doing crazy stuff. All right, next we have the Hydreigon EX. This is another amazing looking card. I do really like this one. This one is sitting at a hefty $92. That is huge. We did pull this one recently. It is a stunning card, like absolutely incredible. But it has dropped, right? Since its release, it has dropped 23%. It was fetching an insanely high price at $120. But still, a 92 is really good. We can't ignore that. That's just such a really, really good, strong price for this card. And on top of that, with how tough the pull rates are as well, I think it will hold somewhat of its value. I do think it will drop, but I don't think it will just plummet and go crazy far down. So maybe we're looking around, an $70 to $80 card. I think it will probably be where it sell at. But again, beautiful artwork. Honestly, it is incredible. Again, tough pull rates. We're going to be seeing that across the board with this set, which is good. It keeps those values up. So that could help this card as well, but I think already it's having a drop. It's kind of been pushed to one side to make way for the top 3. Coming in number 3, we have a gold card. We have the gold Pikachu. This one's been doing the opposite of the cards that we've been looking at right now. This one has actually been going up, which is really, really impressive. So $125 right now. Most recent sold was $140, but the highest sold was $150, which is pretty crazy. And this card has been going like mad. It was $40 upon pre-release, and we're looking at $125. It's gone up 211% since its release. It is a tough card to pull. The gold cards in this set, on average for a pull rate for a gold card, you're looking around about 1 per case. So it's going to be really difficult to find it, especially if you're looking for just the Pikachu. But yeah, this is going to be a huge card. And already the fact that it's gone up by 200% to be sitting at $120, I'm going to guess that this card's going to be over $150, probably pushing $200. I genuinely think that, because the gold cards in the set are just so difficult to find, and there isn't just this one either. So that might help the Pikachu in the long run, which is crazy. And then number 2, missing out on the top spot, we have the Latias EX. Again, one of my favorite chase cards in the set to go with that Latios. The artwork is absolutely incredible, combining the two of them. $205. This card has actually dropped, but only a little bit, right? Even at $205. So pre-order prices we're looking at 210, 220, which was quite high. We did actually drop to as low as 183, and it's bounced back up to be over $200. Again, it's special illustration rare, tough card to pull. It's going to be difficult to find. But if you can get this along with the Latios as well, it's going to look absolutely incredible. Huge card though, $200. This is the thing. If you said to me, Jace, there's a card that's over $200, I'd be like, wow, that's really impressive. I expect it to drop when it comes out. This is not the case, right? This is actually one of the most expensive cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. There's only a small handful of cards that are worth more than this, right? Which is just bonkers to think, right? But yeah, very impressive, beautiful, stunning card. Just really difficult to find though. And then finally in the top spot we have the Pikachu EX. I would say that this card is this era's Moonbreon. I'm going to say it. You know, I said it before in a live stream. I do feel like as it currently stands, this is the era's, Scarlet and Violet era's Moonbreon. Everyone's been asking me, Jace, what's the next Evolving Skies? What's going to be the next card that's just going to pop off like the Moonbreon from Evolving Skies? And at the time, I was like, you know what? Greninja's really showing it, right? Greninja's over $300. It's holding really strong. You know, the booster box prices are going up. Pikachu came out and has kind of just smashed out of the park, right? It is just being anything and everything, and it's very, very impressive. So let's take a look at this. $600, guys, for this card. The highest sold one was $660, with the lowest one being $280. That was probably before it actually did the crazy boom. And we can see right here, you know, when it came out, the pre-order price was around $300. And I mentioned at the time the pre-order prices, I felt like $300 was going to be low. I was saying that, you know, you may be thinking $300 is crazy for a pre-order price, and you're right, it is. But I had a feeling that the pull rates were going to be tough, and there were some reports coming out saying that the pull rates could be similar to Twilight Masquerade. In actual fact, it's actually tougher than Twilight Masquerade. I was like, well, in that case, then $300 is cheap, right? If this pre-order price is already up that high, it's going to climb. I didn't expect it to double in price in a week to $600. The Moonbreon took ages to even get to this point, which is crazy. The set's been out a week, guys. Now you may be thinking, Jace, it's just a bubble. It's going to pop. It's going to go down. That may be the case, and it might trickle down a little bit, but you've got to realize that this set has come out at such a high price point. It's sold out everywhere. The pull rates are incredibly tough to pull this card. I would say we're expecting Surge and Sparks booster boxes to reach $200 before the end of this year. Bearing in mind we're in November, right? Which is going to be crazy. So I expect this Pikachu probably to sell, you know, maybe around that if it was going to fall, maybe around $500 plus. Could this reach Moonbreon levels in the future? It really does depend on the print run. But yeah, I really do see it. I think this is by far the biggest card out of Scarlet and Violet, quite comfortably. I mean, it's double the price of the Greninja. We talked about how insane the Greninja is at that price point 6 months after the release of Twilight Masquerade. Look what's going on here. Like, the Greninja didn't really drop. The Greninja came out quite high and then just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. Pikachu came out quite high. I wouldn't have expected it to hit $600 by a week of the release of the set. This is just unprecedented. So there you have it, guys. Those are the top 10 most expensive cards from Surge and Sparks. The Pikachu is incredible, right? We haven't pulled it yet. I don't know what it looks like in the flesh, but it is really tough to pull. And that's going to help, right? The big tough pull rates that this set has, along with prices of booster packs and availability, it's kind of a perfect storm. And I expect this to just continue to climb as the days, weeks, and months go on. It doesn't look like there's going to be a reprint, restock of Surge and Sparks until at least the new year. So we're going to see booster boxes rise up to $200, maybe even more, before we start seeing reprints and restocks hitting the shelves. Of course, if there's going to be a big reprint, restock in the future, then you could see the price values of these cards to start to fall. But I do expect the Pikachu and a lot of these other big cards, like the Latias, and even the Gold Pikachu, to actually do very well. I mean, they already are. I expect them to hold, if not go up even more. If you made this fun of the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments with these cards. Which one is your favourite card or your chase card of the set? Like I say, mine is a Milotic. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, but we can't deny the powerhouse of the Chonkachu coming in, doing incredibly well. So yeah, I'm blown away by how well Surge and Sparks has performed. And not only that, but also the single card prices as well. But that is it from me, guys, in today's video. If you watch more Pokemon content, make sure to click the video on the screen. And of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, you guys are the legends. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.